I watched through my laptop screen as my sister's nose started bleeding in front of 100 wedding guests. Her white dress was ruined, her perfect makeup was running down her face in black streaks, and my ex-fiancé just stood there at the altar, frozen in horror, as the projection screen behind them displayed every dirty secret they thought they'd buried. You might think I'm a monster for what I did, but wait until you hear what they did to me first. Let me take you back to where this nightmare began, 6 weeks before what was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. My name is Emma, and for 3 years, I'd been dating Marcus, the kindest, most genuine man I'd ever met, or at least that's what I believed. He was a high school teacher with this incredible passion for helping kids. I worked as a graphic designer. We weren't rich, but we were happy. We laughed at stupid movies, cooked terrible dinners together, and talked about having 3 kids and a golden retriever named Biscuit. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First, you need to understand how perfect everything seemed before it all came crashing down. We'd been planning our wedding for 8 months, set for June 15th at this beautiful vineyard outside the city. Everything was perfect. The venue overlooked rolling hills, we'd booked an amazing photographer, and I'd found my dream dress on sale. My sister, Vanessa, was my maid of honor. She's 2 years older and had always been the golden child. Prettier, more successful, more everything. She was married to Richard, a wealthy real estate developer, and they seemed happy. 5 years of marriage, a gorgeous house in the suburbs, luxury vacations on Instagram. I never envied her though. I had Marcus, and that was enough. But I should have seen the signs. I should have known. 3 months before my wedding, things got weird. Vanessa started showing up at our apartment constantly, always when Marcus was home. She'd wear these low-cut tops and tight jeans, nothing like her usual business casual. She'd laugh too loud at Marcus's jokes, touch his arm when she talked, lean in close when he showed her something on his phone. "Van, that's a lot of perfume," I joked once. "I'm just trying to feel pretty again," she said, pouting. "Richard barely notices me anymore." Red flag number 1, but I ignored it. Then, 6 weeks before my wedding, Vanessa called me sobbing. Richard had filed for divorce out of nowhere. She was devastated. She needed her sister. She needed me. I dropped everything. I brought her wine, tissues, ice cream. I let her sleep on our couch for 3 nights while Marcus slept at his parents' place to give us space. I held her while she cried and told her she deserved better. What a joke. What a stupid, blind joke I was. 2 weeks later, I left work early with a brutal migraine and stomach flu. I just wanted to collapse into bed at Marcus's apartment. I had a key. We practically lived together anyway. I unlocked the door as quietly as possible, not wanting to make my headache worse. That's when I heard it. Giggling, a woman's giggle, coming from the bedroom. My entire body went cold. No, I thought. No, please, not this. Not him. I crept toward the bedroom on shaking legs. The door was cracked open just enough. And there they were. Marcus and Vanessa, tangled in sheets, her head on his chest, his arm around her waist. They were laughing about something, completely comfortable, like they'd done this 100 times before. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. But somehow, some survival instinct made me pull out my phone and record 10 seconds of video before I backed away. I left the apartment like a ghost, got in my car, drove to a random parking lot, and sat there for 4 hours, staring at nothing, feeling nothing, numb. When I finally went back, Marcus was alone, making dinner like nothing had happened. He took one look at my face and went pale. "Emma?" "How?" My voice sounded like it belonged to someone else, someone dead inside. He set down the spatula with shaking hands. I don't know what. How?" His shoulders slumped. "A month. Emma, I'm so sorry. I never meant for this to happen." "A month," I repeated. "You've been sleeping with my sister for a month? While planning our wedding, while I was helping her through her divorce, while she was supposed to be my maid of honor." It just happened, he whispered. We connected. We tried to fight it. Get out. Emma, please, let me explain. Get out of my sight before I do something we'll both regret. He grabbed his keys and left, and then I called Vanessa. Hey, sis, she answered on the first ring, cheerful as ever. How are you feeling? Still sick? I know, I said flatly. The silence that followed was deafening. Then, Emma, I can explain. You've been sleeping with my fiancé? You looked me in the eyes while I comforted you about your divorce, and you were screwing my fiancé behind my back. It's not like that, she said, her voice breaking. Emma, we didn't plan this. Marcus and I, we have this incredible connection. It's real. He never felt this way about you. He told me. He said you were nice, but there was no passion, no spark. I hung up. I sat on the bathroom floor and cried for 3 hours straight. I thought I'd hit rock bottom. I was wrong. 2 days later, Marcus texted me. Not an apology, not begging for forgiveness. This. Emma, I'm sorry about how this happened, but Vanessa and I are in love. Real love. We want to make this right and be honest with everyone. Since the wedding is already planned and everything's paid for, we'd like to use your date and venue. It would save money for everyone involved. Your parents already paid the deposit, and it seems wasteful to let it go. We hope you can be mature about this and happy for us. We didn't choose to fall in love. I read that message 5 times. They wanted to steal my wedding, my date, my venue, my photographer, my flowers, everything I'd spent 8 months planning and thousands of dollars on. They wanted me to just hand over my dream wedding so they could use it for themselves. And they called it being mature. That's when something inside me snapped. The sadness evaporated, and in its place came rage. Cold, calculating rage. I wasn't going to cry anymore. I was going to make them pay. I didn't respond to Marcus's text. Instead, I got to work. First, I called the venue. Hi, this is Emma. I'm gifting my wedding to my sister as a surprise. I want to upgrade everything. Money is no object. I paid for the premium package, a projection screen for a special video presentation, upgraded sound system, professional videographer for the entire event. Then I called Richard, Vanessa's soon-to-be ex-husband. Richard, I need to know why you really filed for divorce. He was quiet for a long moment. Then, she's been cheating for years, Emma. I finally got proof. She's been embezzling from our joint account to pay for hotel rooms. There have been at least 3 different guys in the past 2 years. I'm filing a police report. Can you send me the evidence? I asked. Why? Because I'm going to give Vanessa exactly what she deserves. He sent me everything. Bank statements, hotel receipts, text messages with timestamps. Vanessa had been cheating on Richard long before Marcus came into the picture. My fiancé wasn't special. He was just the latest in a long line of affairs. Next, I hired a psychic efficient, someone I found through a friend who owed me a favor. I paid them double their usual rate and wrote them a very specific script. Finally, I invited 5 of my closest friends and told them to attend the wedding with their phones ready. Stream everything to me, I said. Don't miss a second. Then I sent Vanessa a message. Van, I've been thinking about what you said. You're right. You and Marcus have something special, and I can't stand in the way of true love. Take the wedding. It's my gift to you. Everything's arranged. Venue, flowers, catering, music. All you need to do is show up on June 15th and enjoy your special day. My only request is that you don't contact me again. I need space and time to heal. I hope you'll understand. Her response came in under 30 seconds. Oh my God, Emma, are you seriously? This is the most mature, selfless thing ever. I love you so much, sis. We'll make you so proud. Marcus and I will never forget this. You're amazing. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I stared at that message and smiled. A cold, empty smile. You're welcome, Vanessa, I whispered. Enjoy your special day. June 15th arrived. I didn't go anywhere near that vineyard, but my 5 friends were there, scattered among the 100 guests, phones ready and streaming directly to my laptop. The venue looked absolutely stunning. I'd made sure of it. White roses everywhere, fairy lights strung through the trees, golden sunset light filtering through the vines. Vanessa looked beautiful in the rushed wedding dress she'd bought. Marcus wore the tux we picked out together. He looked nervous, but hopeful. My parents were there, looking confused and hurt, but trying to be supportive. Marcus's parents sat in the front row, their faces tight with forced smiles. Richard was there too. I'd specifically made sure his name stayed on the guest list. The ceremony began. The officiant welcomed everyone and started with the traditional opening. Vanessa was glowing, holding Marcus's hands, smiling like she'd won the lottery. Then the officiant paused. "Before we continue with the vows," he said clearly, "the original bride, Emma, has asked me to share something important with everyone gathered here today." Vanessa's smile faltered. Marcus looked confused. Behind them, the massive projection screen flickered to life. And there it was, 10 seconds that would destroy them both. The video I'd taken, Marcus and Vanessa in bed together, tangled in sheets, laughing. The timestamp in the corner, 5 weeks earlier, when Marcus and I were still engaged, when Vanessa was my maid of honor. The gasps from the audience rippled through the vineyard like a shockwave. Someone's mother cried out. I heard Marcus's mom say, "Oh my God." But I wasn't done, not even close. Additionally, the officiant continued, reading from my script in a calm, clear voice, Emma wanted everyone to know that Vanessa began her affair with Marcus while she was still married to Richard. In fact, Richard discovered that Vanessa had been conducting multiple affairs over the past 2 years, using money embezzled from their joint account to rent hotel rooms. Marcus was not the first. He was simply the most recent. The screen changed. Bank statements appeared, showing hundreds of dollars withdrawn, with notes like hotel and personal, then hotel receipts with dates, then text messages, flirty, explicit messages between Vanessa and 3 different men, including Marcus. Timestamps showed everything, the affairs overlapping, the lies stacking up. Years of betrayal laid bare for everyone to see. According to my friends, what happened next was beautiful chaos. Vanessa screamed, just screamed, this high-pitched wail of rage and humiliation. She tried to run, but her heel caught in her dress and she went down hard, face first into the ground. Her nose started bleeding. Marcus stood frozen at the altar, his face white as paper, staring at the screen like he couldn't process what he was seeing. Richard stood up in the audience. "For the record," he announced loudly, "I'm pressing criminal charges against Vanessa for embezzlement. The police report has already been filed. And Vanessa, you can forget about getting a cent in the divorce. My lawyers are going to destroy you." Marcus's mother stood up, crying. "How could you?" she shouted at Marcus. "We raised you better than this. Emma was family." My parents just sat there, stunned. My mother was crying. My father looked like he'd aged 10 years in 10 seconds. Several family members started yelling at Vanessa, cousins, aunts, uncles, people who'd known us our whole lives. The words disgusting, homewrecker, and narcissist got thrown around a lot. Vanessa finally got up, blood pouring from her nose, mascara running down her face, and stumbled toward the parking lot, screaming at everyone to leave her alone. Marcus tried to follow her, but his father grabbed his arm and yanked him back. "You don't get to run away from this," his father said. "You face what you've done." The professional videographer I'd hired captured every single moment in crystal clear 4K. Per our contract, I owned all the footage. The wedding was over in under 15 minutes. No vows, no kiss, no happily ever after. Just consequences. That was 3 months ago. The fallout was nuclear. Marcus tried to reach out 17 times. Calls, texts, emails, even a letter left at my new apartment. I blocked him everywhere. His school board found out about the scandal when one of the parents recognized him from the wedding video someone leaked. They called it moral turpitude incompatible with educational values. He was fired. Last I heard, he's working at Target and living with his parents at 32 years old. Vanessa sent me a 10-page letter begging for forgiveness. She claimed she'd been diagnosed with narcissistic personality disorder and was in therapy. She said she finally understood what she'd done and wanted to make amends. I burned the letter without reading past the first page. Richard pressed charges. Vanessa pleaded guilty to embezzlement to avoid trial. She got 2 years probation and had to pay back $47,000 in restitution. She lost her PR consulting job because nothing says bad PR like being a PR consultant exposed for embezzling and cheating. Her professional reputation is destroyed. My parents cut Vanessa off completely. They offered to reimburse me for all the wedding expenses, but I refused. Watching her face on that screen, I told them, was worth every single penny. As for me, I got therapy. I focused on my design career and actually landed 2 major clients. I started seeing someone new, a software engineer I met at a coffee shop who has zero connection to my past. When I told him the story on our 3rd date, he said, "Your sister and your ex are garbage humans. You deserved better, and you made sure they'd never forget it." I think I might marry this one someday, but there's no rush. Here's the thing nobody knows yet, the real final twist I've been sitting on. Remember how I said I own all the footage from the disaster wedding? Well, 3 weeks ago, I was contacted by a documentary producer. Apparently, revenge wedding stories are trending, and mine has viral potential. They want to interview me, Marcus, Vanessa, and everyone who was there. They want to turn this into a full documentary, The Wedding That Never Was, A Sister's Ultimate Revenge. The producer offered me $50,000 for the exclusive rights to my story and footage. I haven't decided yet. Part of me wants to leave it buried, but another part, the part that spent 8 months planning a dream wedding only to have it stolen by my own flesh and blood, thinks Vanessa deserves to have her betrayal immortalized forever. Maybe you guys can help me decide. Should I do it? Should I let the whole world see what happens when you cross the wrong person? Because here's what I learned through all of this. Karma is real, but sometimes she needs a little help. Sometimes she needs planning, patience, and a projection screen. My sister stole my wedding date, so I sent her a gift she'll remember for the rest of her miserable life. And honestly, I don't regret a single second of it. They wanted my wedding, I gave them one they'll never forget. What would you do if your sister stole your fiancé? Should Emma take the documentary deal? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to smash that subscribe button for more revenge stories where karma gets a major upgrade. Coming next week, my mother-in-law destroyed my business, so I exposed her secret family at Thanksgiving. You won't believe how this one ends.